special good afternoon to each and everyone here. My respects to Sri O.V. Nambiar, President Chinmaya Mission. I'm Virendra Gupta, President Antarashtriya Sahyog Parishad, and Kumari Nivedita Bede, Vice President Vivekananda Kendra, Dr. Vikran Tomar, and all the dignitaries who are in the dais, off the dais, and most respected dignitaries who are seated here. My special good afternoon to each and everyone here. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is the word which will be apt pronouncing, mentioning, hearing, whether in the future, whether in the past, whether in the present or in the future, until the world persists. And we are very proud that this is the word from our motherland, India. So now it is pronounced often by rest of the world. So even Tamil also, Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. Everyone belongs to a same place, and everyone's place is our place. And apart from that, particularly I want to mention, because 3 days this conference has been conducted, and most of the topics would have been covered, and we don't know whether we are talking about the same point, or because it is conducted in a very elaborate way, and almost it conducted all over the country. And I appreciate Chinmaya Mission for taking forward the message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam to each and every one. So, I don't know, because as a doctor, I always feel this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is more apt when we suffered from pandemic. Because pandemic, even though before there were difference of opinion and difference of culture, nature, language, but sometimes blessing in disguise, the Corona taught us that even though we are stalwarts, our leaders, our spiritual leaders, were teaching Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This India, our world is one family, one future. But sometimes, whether the positive things teach us or not, negative things sometimes teach us great things. Like that, Corona taught us the world is one. Particularly, our country, India, as a medical student, we used to long for the vaccines from other countries. For example, polio reached India after 27 years. And rubella vaccine after 2 decades. So after the rest of the country, the invented country or the rest of the country, used for its own population, and after they use for their country, and they will think of other countries, and particularly when the developing country, India, it reached in much later date after that invention. But within 11 months of the onset of pandemic, India is proud that it produced its own vaccine, and it administered the vaccine to its people, and in spite of the political criticism, because it is very difficult to carry out very positive things. So when the people, the political opposition parties, in India itself, we were unable to provide the vaccines to our country. Why are you exporting to other countries? But when we see, it is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and the whole world is one. So we treat all the people, because pandemic is same for Indians, same for other countries. So we had a humanitarian outlook. Our Honorable Prime Minister had a very good policy that it should be exported to more than 150 countries. And I'm very happy even the developed countries were dependent on the Indian vaccine. Not only vaccines, the medicines. The medicines, we exported the medicines to 123 countries. And we were in need of the medicines. Particularly because I am the governor of Telangana, which is the pharma hub of India. And when the people complained that when we are in need, what is the need to export the medicines? But India, following the policy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we wanted the other people of the countries also hale and healthy. So even the simple paracetamol helped the rest of the world. So we led the world during the pandemic. That is the pride of India, and that is the core nature, core culture, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And as it is said by my previous speaker, I also wanted to tell that only. Because I don't know, because what all the topics covered, I always narrate, because sometimes when repetition, because in the same topic even I talk, because there will be repetition. In Einstein's life, there was one incident. He used to go, because as a doctor, we also give lectures, scientific lectures, same lecture in different conferences. So he used to give the same lecture. So Einstein's driver told, what is this, you are talking the same thing. So next conference, you sit somewhere, I will deliver. So you are repeating so much, so that I myself had it in my by-hearted it. So I will give a lecture, like that he told. So Einstein told, okay, this time you give a lecture. At that time, no social media, no media to know who is Einstein and who is other person. So he went and gave the lecture. Einstein was sitting at the last row. And then he completed the lecture. Einstein wanted to teach a lesson, because the beauty of the lecture is not delivering the lecture. The core subject is to answering the doubts. So he thought this person will be caught. He's so ridiculous, telling me, humiliating me like this. So the question, he completed the lecture, almost he repeated it, because he was constantly hearing. And then the question session, answer session started. And they one by one person started the question. Then Einstein was eagerly waiting what this fellow is going to do. Then he raised one doubt. Then the driver told, this is a very simple question. So it is, I am not needed for answer. My driver is sitting at the back of the road. So he will answer. So we don't know what subject covered. And so this is in a lighter sense I am telling. So it is like that, because Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or economic crisis, the climatic crisis, and India is going to lead. And now, as it is said, before we were looking to the rest of the world for solution. But now, rest of the world is looking at India for solution. That is the great thing which we have achieved. Particularly during, I have to say, yoga. Yoga is our art. But June 21st, this is one art of India, one culture of India. The whole world is celebrating. Even 90 Islamic countries also celebrating the yoga. So the art of India has spread to other countries. So we have provided mental health and physical health to rest of the countries. So this is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What all good things we have, we can spread to other countries so that others also benefited. It is not that only I know only this, so I will be healthy, I will be hale and healthy. I don't want others to be healthy. And another thing, that is the International Year of Millets. Millets are our grand old traditional food item. But now even the rest of the world had it. But in between, it was forgotten. But our Honorable Prime Minister, because of his efforts, this 2023 is celebrated as International Year of Millets. So what all the great things forgotten, and what all the great culture of India, which is useful to the rest of the countries, it is now elevated. And with excitement, it is provided to other countries. And apart from medicine, food items, we can say Afghanistan, 90% of them were under starvation. 90% of them did not get even 2-day meals, 2 times a meal. But India provided food. Even Sri Lanka, the small country next to us, and when it was suffering from economic crisis, India extended its helping hand. Ukraine, Russia, wherever the possible the help is needed, India extended its hand. And apart from that, G20, we are presiding, and this presidency is going to show the world how India is competent enough. As Swami Vivekananda said, there will be a time will India, our mother Bharat, will lead rest of the world. And now the time has started that we have started leading the rest of the countries, whatever may be, whether it is economic crisis, whether it is green revolution, whether it is war situation, whether it is economic situation, whether it is pandemic situation and pandemic. Because it is very difficult. As a doctor, why I am lauding our Honorable Prime Minister for managing the pandemic? Because the Lancet, our journal, predicted more than 45 lakh people of India will die due to pandemic. Because India is the most crowded country and most populous country, so the death rate will be more. But the same Lancet appreciated, and because of the concrete measures taken by India and providing vaccine to rest of the countries also, it prevented the death in their country and prevented the death from in the rest of the countries also. So this is the mindset. பாரதியார் பாடினார், தனி ஒருவனுக்கு உணவில்லை என்றால் ஜகத்தினை அழித்திடுவோம் என்று. If a single person is devoid of food, I will demolish the whole world, he told. But now the whole world's food scarcity and food need are taken by the poorer countries, food need are taken care of by our country, the India. That is the beauty of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So when we treat, because the boundaries are now erased, if it is not erased, at least it is blurred. But why these conferences are taking place? Why we have to reinvent ourselves? Why we have to take all the good things to the rest of the world? By continuous education, continuous conferences will make us feel that we have to lead the rest of the world. And as it is said by the previous speaker, I also feel there may be policies by the organization, there may be policies by the country, there may be policy by the world, but there should be a policy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam individually. I should be the torchbearer to the rest of the world. Whatever the smallest thing I can contribute. So of climatic change, if I want to wash my hand, just like that we are opening a tap, 10 people can wash that in that tap water. Just open slowly. That is a small contribution for conserving our nature. Then when we go out, so many lights, it's okay, it's a conference. But when we go out from our room, just switch off the light. That's the very smallest contribution to saving the nature. We will be talk great things, but we won't follow it. So there used to be a saying that one person, when he was in the deathbed, he was telling his relatives, I wanted to change the world. I was unable to do that. Then I wanted to change my country. I was unable to do. Then I wanted to change my state. No, I was not successful. I wanted to change my place, my village. I was unable to do. At least I wanted to change my family. I was not successful. But finally, now I feel, if I would have changed, my family would have changed. If my family would have changed, my district would have changed, my district would have changed, my country, state would have been changed, my state would have been changed, my country would have changed. If my country would have changed, the whole world could have changed. So everything should start from ourselves. So let us all think that whatever the smallest contribution, because there are great leaders to look after all the problems now, because of the initiative of G20 conferences and because of the concrete measures by our Honorable Prime Minister and other Prime Ministers coming together. One of the leader of other countries says, our country's leader is the boss. So this is the open mind to appreciate each other. So let all our leaders, but the starting should be from ours. So let us all think that these conferences highlight us more, and whatever may be the organizations we are attached, and whatever may be the administration capacity we have, we will, what all the smallest changes, our Honorable Prime Minister says, life, initiate smaller changes in your life pattern, in your practice, in your administration. That smallest change will produce greater results. That may be a message, because now it is the need of the hour that we have to know what all the good things which we have. Sometimes we ourselves don't know what we have, what all the good things in our country. In a lighter sense, when I used to talk to the press people, I used to tell a small story. Good communicators like our Gurumurthy sir and all, what he will tell, what all to be communicated, they will communicate in a very much proper way. So one poor farmer wanted to sell his land. He thought without selling the land, he cannot live his livelihood, because he was so poor and he was suffering from hunger. So he called a press person and to ask him to write an advertisement. That person wrote an advertisement. He wanted to sell that piece of land. So there is a piece of land for sale. This piece of land is nearer a railway station. Nearer a railway station means it will be some 60 to 70 kilometers from a railway station. That's advertisement, no? So a piece of land is there, and there is a railway station nearby, a school nearby, and there is a very potable water well in the land, and 2 or 3 mango trees, which gives very delicious mango fruits. Like that he wrote, and he gave it to the farmer and asked the charge for the advertisement. Then the farmer told, no, I'm not going to sell the land. The advertiser got angry, that press person got angry. Just few minutes back you told, you will sell this land. Without selling this land, you cannot live, because you are suffering from hunger and you are unable to proceed your livelihood. But why you are telling now you are not going to sell the land? Just few minutes back you told you are going to sell the land. Then the farmer told, before seeing your advertisement, I myself did not know so much good things are in my land. So after your advertisement, after you have clearly mentioned about all the positive things in my land, now I think why I should sell my land. With this land, I can cultivate. With this land, I can be a very rich person. So I am not going to sell the land. So sometimes we need some conferences, some lectures like this to make us know the values of our country, of our efforts. So this conference definitely will highlight, enlighten us with all the good things in our country. And this is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is the word, phrase, which is going to be a great sound to be heard in rest of the world. And because of not only the sound, all the activities from India is going to lead the rest of the countries. And I'm really very happy to attend this valedictory function, because of my busy schedule, I was a little late, but kindly pardon me. But I'm really very happy to meet you all. Let us all practice, and let the practice of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam start from ourselves, from this minute, from this decade, from this second. So we will see a decade, or in a century, we will see great improvement in rest of the countries. Thank you so much.